We are back, guys. Welcome, all of you 4 people who are watching right now. I'm so glad that I got this streaming thing to work again, because as you all know, we had an update to the game. Oh wow! I could hear YouTube, and I could also hear the background music was super loud, so let's turn that down. You let me know if it's still too loud, and I'll fix it. Where's my chat window? Alright, so we had an update to the game, and it gave us the shard converter, which I think is absolutely awesome. I've used it a lot, primarily for green and blue shards to convert them instantly, to have something to do with my diamonds, you know. It also gave us the Sparky glitch. Sparky doesn't work as she used to, and it is super annoying. It is messing up ops everywhere, and it's just a big pain in the ass. But it also did something, and this is intended. They removed the support for Android x86 devices. What Android x86 means I don't fully know, but I do know that it is Android emulators on the computer, on Windows computers, so they don't work anymore. And I'm streaming from an Android emulator on the computer. It's called BlueStacks. So I was thinking, well, now I can't stream anymore. So that's sad. So I was looking into a lot of different options, like mirroring my tablet window on my computer, and then put that into my streaming software. It worked. I tried it, but it was very laggy, and it didn't mirror audio, so there was no game sound. So that felt pretty bad, but I got some help, and I got a way to work around it. So now it all works again, and I'm super happy. So I'm gonna move my streaming window over to the other screen here, like that, so I don't have to. We have Morris Weber. I'm not sure who. Oh, that is MoMA in 2004. You were with us on the last All It's Live, I think. That was awesome. Welcome, buddy. And we also have Mad Squabbles in the YouTube chat. So you guys are very welcome. We are going to look at Angry Sparrows now. Sort of like the first stream back here. We yesterday we pulled an op, and I remember it was Arthur, a player in Sparrows. He was like, yeah, let me roll it, let me roll. I'm going to roll 7 shields, like that. And he rolled 7 shields. And we were like, man, Arthur, you're such an asshole. So we had 7 shields, and I was like, well, we're not gonna get this down, so let's just get the most out of it as we can. But as you can see here, 1820 out of 1820, and it took 25 hits. So we got it, and we have Jasir in the chat here. Yeah, Morris, you were in Sparrows, and you've been moved up to Bart jobs. So congratulations, buddy, working it up. And we have new boy on the chat. I'm not sure who you are, but you are welcome nonetheless. So we opened up this op, and we saw one solo base, and it was Titanic. And I'm not particularly fond of Titanic, because I think it's always nasty. It's almost always 2 hits, because you spread into some rocket launcher range and you lose a lot of girls. Apart from that Titanic, we had Strategize, Outworks, we had Rogue, Torrent, Red Line, and Alamo, and Fang. So no Maze, no Green Court, and we had Red Line, which is super nasty, especially with the Sparky glitch, but it was a very, very favorable Red Line. So we managed to get it down in 3 hits. So that's just a little bit of a teaser. Red Line in 3. That's not every day. New Boy says he's also in bar jobs. That's we have Pazan, the Norwegian F-bag, in the chat. So I'm gonna start with Titanic here, because we'll consider it the easiest base. So this is, you can see, 338% GBE. It's a 7.3 account. I kept it at as it's my account, so I kept it at 7.3 because I don't want to mess it up. I'm using it in Monkeys. I visit there for a couple times, so I don't. I like to keep it at as 7.3. Otherwise, I advise everybody to, during these GBE tribes, to remove a GBE statue and add a troop damage, because when you are 6-4 and considering you have perfect statues, when you're full boosted you have 185 GBE. If you have perfect statues with these tribes and you are 5-5, you have 191 GB, 93 even, 193 GBE with these tribes. So a 5-5 has more GBE now than a 6-4 normally does. But you have Zuka damage, troop damage instead. So it's basically, by doing that, you will have a little bit extra GBE boost, but you will also have an extra troop damage guardian. So basically you'll have like troop damage boost too. So it's really smart to do that. That is, of course, if you have statues to switch back. But let's watch. So 7.3. I've also managed to, in BlueStacks here, I managed to change my computer mouse, how it looks, so I can now see it better than I did before. So it should be able to work a little bit smoother here. So you can see there's a rocket launcher up top. There's a rocket launcher, lost the mouse still, rocket launcher down here, and there's mortars behind the core here. Extra rockets here, but they don't do much for the rush really. And there's extra mortars down here with range, standard shock launchers. So I looked at this and I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 shocks, something stupid. So obviously we're gonna have to either do a setup or rush it with shocks and critters. So that's what I did, and I figured with a 7.3 the core health was very low, so with a 7.3 I would have enough damage, and I would have 2 critters, 591, almost 600, almost it was like 1.38 million on the core. So it's in range for 3 troop damage to get it down. So you guys let me know if the sound is messed up after I reset my stream settings here. No, it's Pasan says 192 I think, but it is 193 GBE. because I have it in Lions. So I delayed the first smoke a little bit because there's only one sniper here as opposed to normal. There's two. And I hit a mine on the walk here. So I'm throwing a quitter smoke on this mortar around here. Let's see here. I lost some Sukas there. This was a nasty rush. I'm actually surprised I got it down. The mortars popped off, the shock launcher popped up some girls, and I had a double battle orders, and there, boom, just as the shock launchers killed the rest of my girls. There are some hiding behind a rocket launcher here. So that's a solo. Sound is good, that is awesome. Yasser, Docs knows all about it, but the problem is that he is using. I don't want to talk about that on the stream, really. So that was Titanic. Let's move on. I haven't thought this out a lot, really. So I'm thinking maybe Alamo was 1, 2, 3. Let's do Alamo next here. So this is Aurora. This is Roya. Roya has been all over the family in training teams and in Assassins. I don't know about Starfish, but he was in Sparrows before, took a break, focused more on training teams. So he's been around a lot, and he's a good player. I like to have him aboard here. So he's dropping a lot of grants here to farm GBE because there are machine guns here, so the grants can outrange them. Let's speed up a little bit while he's doing this so he can have more GBE, because the main part of this opening hit is going to be hacking. So he needs all the GBE that he can get. Let me also know if you think that like the zooming is alright for the stream, or you think it should be closer or further out. Because I have the actual stream on my other screen here, but it has like 20-second delay, so it's really hard for me to know. I'm trying my best here. Okay, I slowed it down to 1/2x. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize. Okay, so Sparky is out. 1, 2, 3 smokes. And with this glitch, she ignores marked defenses. So she will automatically hack the closest defense if you don't flare. So what it's doing now is flaring Sparky to a certain spot to make sure that the closest defenses are the ones he wants to hack. Then he parked on the smoke here, he activated the remote, and he saw that Sparky selected the rocket launcher automatically, so he flared onto the shock launcher. So then he knows he's gonna get this I can't select them for some reason because there's a timer in the way. So this shock launcher and rocket launcher here is what he wanted to hack. So he did a double hack and re-smoke here, very nicely done. Now he's moving Spark away and up, and the same thing here. You want to get Spark into a spot where the things you want to hack are the closest defenses to Spark. So you flare that onto that sniper and she will stop in between the two lower rocket launchers here. And now he messed up a little bit because he did a double hack here. If he did a single hack, he would have been able to re-smoke Spark in time, and then he could do a double hack. But he got 4 things out of 5 hacked, and that's all there is for this hit now. It's over. So he did a good job. The next hitter can just hack this top rocket here and move troops up and start clearing. So that's what we did. And the next hit, it was actually me again. I'm 5-5 on this account now during the tribes. So I'm starting, and I don't have perfect statues. I'm starting with 191. So this was one thing. This mine here, it was a level 22 mine. So I wanted Sparky to clear that one mine, so I didn't have to use an artillery for it because the GBE was super tight on this hit. I decided, because there are flamethrowers and the laser up here, there's more stuff I needed to clear, so I decided I should hack this mortar too to make this clearing 2 shocks instead of 3. So the mortar is hacked, and look at how the smoke is thrown here. I'm throwing the smoke sort of shifted into the direction I want to move next. So that way I save smoke diameter, or how to say it. So that's something you should always think about when you do a single hack and then you're gonna move Sparky over. Throw the re-smoke so that it sort of covers into the direction you want Sparky to move next. Now I'm landing troops here, doing a flare landing to have more control. Now I'm doing a long flare up there because I can't use too many flares. I've already used some and the GBE is very tight. Reflaring to put my bazookas in the middle of the smoke, and I have marked the flamethrowers and the lower rockets because I want to clear them first. And I had calculated this hit to the last GBE, and I knew I had 2 and then 1 shock. But for some reason I had another shock still, and I don't know why. I must have saved flare or smoke somewhere, and that's why I was late on that lower rocket shock on the second round. But I got the most important stuff down, the flamethrowers and the laser and the top rocket, the mortar. So the next hit can just go up here and clear and finish. And on the plus side there are flamethrowers here instead of machine guns, so that's actually better, makes it easier. And the finishing hit on Alamo is going to be Titanic. This is Mosh. Mosh has been the leader of Zebras, I think, and also what was Dragons. Both of those teams unfortunately shut down. I'm sorry, I'm not really tired, it's just I'm not used to talk so much. swallowing too much air. So he's been really unfortunate. But both the teams that he's led has been shut down. But he's still going. He's playing in Sparrows and he's doing a great job. He's really enthusiastic about the game. So he's taking Olsukas, and I think it is Everspark. Now he's just gotta clear. So he's throwing the critters for the boom cannons to keep whatever Zugas he can alive. The sniper is down, and now he's gonna kill one flamethrower, but I believe. Yep, now it's flaring in. Now it's time to go for the kill here. That's a wrap. He's hacking some stuff. The only thing in range now are these boom cannons, and he hacked it. And now he's completely free. This boom. Oh wow! I didn't see. Some Zukas walked up here, killed one of the shield generators and the flamethrowers. You got one shield down, and I think we. Oh. So let's speed up because it's just pounding on the core here. Throwing some medkits. That was a really nice job from Mosh. It's easy to mess up on a clearing, like you lose the hero, you forgot to show off. Re-smoking the girls at the last second there. And that's Alamo down in 3 hits. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna do. Thank you, Pauzan, looking out. Like the video, please, if you want to give some support. I'm gonna do Fang next. If you look at like this is at the end of the op, we had Redline, Alamo, and Fang still up, and Fang was closed for all of the op because you close one base to like conserve force points. So we had a Redline rush and we had an Alamo finish. We decided the time was running out, so we decided we should open Fang at least. So this is Angry Dragon on Fang, and then we saw that Alamo went down and we realized we have 3 more hits, so we went pretty safe here. So let's do Fang here. This is Angry Dragon with some Zukas and some Grants. So this is mostly a standard. There's a Shock Blaster over here. It doesn't affect any of the hits. There's an extra rocket launcher here, and there's a grappler up here. So this grappler needs to be dealt with, or else you cannot use grants for the shields here. So the plan is to flash kill the grappler with a few Zugas. But something happened because let's watch. Obviously, I've already seen the hits because I'm the leader of this team, so I need to keep track. Yeah, the shock launcher. The shock launcher was in range, so that's what happened. So this grappler had 160,000 health. So it was possible to, with 3 Zukas, to flash kill it, because you get 2 shots before the rocket launcher is fired. But unfortunately he was in range of the shock launcher, so that's why he didn't get 2 shots. So the rest of the plan is some hacks. You can see these two rocket launchers have range for the grand spot, so you want to get rid of them. He's doing a really nice hacking here. Doing hacks with lost delay on rocket launchers is very nasty, because like what it is 10 rockets or something. When they fire all at the same time, even if it's just one rocket each, they will kill Spark. So that's really impressive work. But now the grappler is still up, so obviously he's not going to be able to do much more on this hit. But he's doing what he can. He's barding the grappler and clearing whatever cannons he can, because the cannons also has to go for the grand part, like grinning these shields over here. So, oops. So let's just speed up this part. Just grins being picked up off one by one by this grappler. So Dragon probably thought this was pretty much a failed hit, because I'm guessing he wanted to get the shields too, but it's not a complete failure, because he got the hacks and he cleared all the cannons. So all the next guy has got to do is to bar out the grappler and to grab the shields, and maybe even mini rush. Now this hit I haven't seen actually. This is Rain Man. This is Knixen. He tried to retire, but he failed. Oh, we have Boombuclad in the chat as well. So Krusty is on. Welcome, guys. So Rain Man Knixen. Yeah, you can see he's taking 4 Grants and 4 Zookas and Brick. So obviously he is going to try to, after the shields are down, he's going to try to do something with the Zookas, get some damage on the core. So the first part is 3 artilleries for the grappler to get it down. And then some Grants here. Some spread into machine gun range, so he decided to chalk them. I would probably just have let those few Grants die. Now he flared. Oh no! You see that? That's a swipe flare. You know, you're swiping the screen and you accidentally send a flare. So now he's used like 3 extra flares here. That's unfortunate. We have Anton Forsberg. You sound very much like it's Hobart. Wow, guys. Welcome. I didn't know your name, but I knew you were Swedish. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Okay, so he's just grinning the shields here. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Grins takes forever to do something, because they never hit their target. And now the shields are down, and what happened here now? Rocket launchers fire, so the delay is lost. And that's the hardest part when you're trying to do both on Fang, like a few grants for the shields and then rush. When the grants are done with the shield, they will start to walk up and immediately get into rocket launcher range. So to avoid that, you need to be super quick with the flare somewhere, like into these mines or something, like just flare them away as soon as the front shield dies, because you don't want to lose the delay. That's what it did here. This is not gonna be a kill, and it wouldn't have been with only 4 Zukas, because the core is 1.6 at the start, and at this point it is like 1.4 still, so it's pretty beefy, and he didn't have enough GBE for smokes, but he got one and two shots on the core, so that's really good considering he lost the delay and he peaked and everything. So I know Knixen, and I can tell him that that was a really bad hit, so he can eat that up. Yeah, Supercell updates, huh? I was thinking earlier today that we actually spend more time with major glitches than we do without. Now, you can disagree all you want, but I'm thinking back to the glitch we had when Rick didn't follow flares. How bad was that? So you had to, like, always when you flared somewhere, you had to re-flare to the same spot to get Rick to follow. I don't know, I think it was 5 or 6 months we had that glitch. And we worked with it, and then it disappeared, and we were happy. And then it was like 2 more months, and we get like a bullet glitch or something else not working. So, and then it takes 4 months for them to update. I'm really hoping it's going to be quicker this time. So it sounded from some Discord conversations I've seen where Rick, the community manager, have said that he didn't give a date, of course, but it was implied sometime next month. But don't get your hopes up too much. It can be longer. So we're gonna have to work with this Sparky thing for a while here. So this is Powerhouse. His name is Hogan, and he is from Iceland. I think that alone is pretty cool. I don't know I don't know much people from any countries, but Iceland is pretty like secluded, far off. So I find that interesting. So Hogan is double smoking the kill zone here and is flaring the core. Yeah, you see that he peaked at the last second. So that is the most annoying thing. So when you peak like that and you throw critters, the critters will die instantly. Otherwise, you throw critters, they land, the rocket launchers have 3-second delay, so it will take some time before they start to fire, but now they fired immediately, and all the critters died right away, so that's why he didn't get this down. He left 130,000 on this core. But we had one more hit on this op, and it's going to be a flash kill. This is Sticky Fingers. He's used to playing Wolves, and now he's moved up to Sparrows. I'm gonna speed up the landing part here, and then we're gonna go 2x for the walk. He also peaked. You see that? So you need to throw this these last 2 smokes on Fang. You need to throw them early. But he got it down. It was only 1 shot needed. So that's Fang in 4 hits. Let's get out. I saw some medkits too. That's great. When am I doing another roulette? I'm thinking maybe Sunday. Yeah, now the streams are working again, so should be no problem. I'm thinking I'm gonna save Redline and Torrent. Krusty really wants to see a torrent. He had a little bit of a breezy. I don't know. All of these are great. Let's just strategize. This is Junaid. He was in the family for a long time ago. 1 year ago he left, but now he's back. I'm really happy about that. He's a great player. He also plays in Lions. So those of you who knows how strat is usually done should learn something from this, because it's not completely a standard strategy here. So starting off by single hacking these shock launchers, because that will reduce a shock for the rush. And then he is going to... There, the shock launcher is down. He's dropping 3 Zookas under the machine guns here. And he's going for the top shield. Did I say breezy? Wow, okay. No, it was not a breezy. You will all see across this rush. It was a very good hit, but unfortunately he left a little bit on the core, so it didn't pop. So Junaid is taking 3 boats of Zookas up to this shield here. It's a 205 strategize, so the health is not super high. Unfortunately, he got hit a little bit by the rocket launchers. The range was, yeah, it was like one Zooka had a toe into the range here. So he didn't quite get that shield down, but almost. It's down to a Bart. What's next here? Grants. So let's go 2x, because so he barred out the rest of the shield, and now the plan is to bar out these machine guns to save another shock from the core rush. Because as you can see, there are extra rocket launchers back here and up here, so you need to reduce shocks. If possible, any strategy has to be reduced to 6 shocks should be maximum, because that's what you can do. Even a 5-5 can do 6 shocks, because the rush is like 5 or 6 smokes. So it's really a cheap rush. So here's we're done. So he cleared most of what was needed down here. So the next hit can use some Zookas for the right side shields, and then continue grinning down here. Tolga is in the house, burning. So that was the first hit on Strategize. So let's move on. The next hit on Strategize is also Junaid. You had 2 accounts in for this op, and yeah, has 1137 VP on this account, like a madman, like I am. Just clear some mines to start off. That's a good thing to do before you drop any troops. I'm guessing that top mine was a 22, or he wouldn't have cleared it. Now dropping bullet for the machine guns here. And then he's dropping some troops. And this particular strategy you can do like with whether it's mortars or rocket launchers or anything. But one thing you should do is you should throw the flare, and then wait a bit. Then you should throw the smoke, then drop bullet. Bullet will walk up, and while the smoke is active, the flare will run out, and bullet will be in place. And when the smoke lifts, the flare has run out, and you can drop your bazookas, and they won't walk to any flare. That's a pretty neat trick I learned from Unique, actually, the good old beast who played in Angry Turtles. Juna is doing a good job here. He cleared the lower right shields here, and he regrouping under the mortars, and I was flaring up. You can throw flare all the way to the back from underneath these mortars. The bazookas will get there before the flare runs out, so this is one unnecessary flare, but it's alright. He's playing it safe. 2 more smokes. I'm guessing maybe a critter. Yep. We have dropped some mud in the chat. Welcome, buddy. And there's 2 shocks. Losing some girls, but it's okay. The health was really low on the shield. And the shield is dead, and now he's dropping 2 grants down here. And he's gonna continue boarding the machine guns. So that's a good thing. Like when you're looking at the base like this, you need to think about how do we, as a small team, get this down. So you can often you can share boarding through all the hits. Like when you do board in the back shields on Humble Pie or something, you share the board between hits. So every hit boards a little bit. So that's what we did here. Never like one hit has to board it all, you know. So that's the second hit on Strategize. And I'm going to start this hit. This is Hobart, who we saw in the chat. So Strategize looks like this. All the mines are still here underneath the core, and the shields are still up, and there's a machine gun that needs, I think it was 1 artillery for that machine gun. So he needs to clear all that before he can actually rush, but that's what he was trying to do. So he's dropping 2 grants. The health was low on the core, so he didn't need 8 bazookas for the actual rush. He's dropping 2 grants, clearing mines, boarding the machine gun. Whoops. I moved my BlueStacks window. Oh, sorry guys. Let me shoot. I accidentally moved the BlueStacks window on my screen, and I got lost. So I'm going to restart that hit. My apologies. Now I have my mouse over the time button here, so speed button, I don't know what to call it. So here, he flared his grants over into the machine gun range because he wants them to die, and he don't want them to clear any further so he loses the delay on the rocket launchers. Now he's dropping some Zugas. Six Zugas and brick. And now you will see what happens, like how his Zuga spread here. I will explain why. You see that this sniper tower is marked. So the Zuga's targeting still works, the Sparkies that does not. Whenever something is damaged, the Zugas will target that damaged defense. So that's why the spread looks like this at this point. You will see what happens due to that. But he nails the shocks. Shocks that he thought he needed. But the Zugas, because of that marked sniper, the Zugas spread into the shock launcher range. And that's very unfortunate. This strat could have been 3, it should have been 3, but sometimes something unforeseen happens and you just mess up. And that's unfortunate. It's a really good effort, like clearing the shields, boarding the mines, boarding the machine gun, and then rush after that. Turkish Flash, this is Tolga, he was in the chat earlier. So I don't remember how much health was left, but maybe like 200,000 or something. So he is clearing the cannons down here. So this is gonna be one shot. Dropping critters. If I know Tolga correctly, I'm thinking he didn't boost for this hit. Because he didn't need to, and he wants to save power powders whenever he can. Because that's really a smart thing to do. Yep, you can see 80% troop damage. That should be, yep, that's it's a 5-5 account unboosted. And the GBE says 156 because of the tribe. So now we have done Titanic, we have done Alamo, we have done Fang, and we have done Strat. So left is Outworks, Rogue. Yeah, let's do Rogue. So this is the hit. I wasn't online for the planning part, so I have nothing to say about that. I did say though that if I was online, I would probably have not agreed, but because it's a really non-standard strategy here, but it worked out perfectly. Tolgahan is confirming that I was correct about the boosting analysis of his hit. So this is Fighter Path. He is also a very good stable player. He plays in Sparrows and Starfish. So you noticed he's just using Everspark so far. So the plan is to hack the rocket launchers around the core, because the rocket launchers are what is the nasty part about the rogue clearing, because they are all spread out on the corners of the core, so they are really hard to get with troops. Now he's hacked 2 of them, and he's going to hack the 3rd. That's 3 rocket launchers hacked, so a very nice job all around these machine guns and whatever. It's really nasty for Everspark. So now he's used up all of his GBE on those hacks, so he's just gonna drop some grants. And I'm thinking clear, yeah. Okay, so he decided to BART on the top rocket, or he's doing it to clear mines. Yeah, he's clearing mines. That's really smart. So that's it. He's used 4 boats total. But if you look at this rogue from this point, like you can see it in the 12 o'clock corner here, and it's 2 shocks to clear this machine gun and these 2 machine guns up here. So he made it really easy for the next hit to clear it all. And that brings us to the next hit. This is going to be Raffo, I believe. So that's fighter path. So the next hit on rogue is yeah, Raffo. Sorry guys. So Raffo has been in wolves for a long time. I met him the first time I hopped into eagles. Thought I would play there for a while. I lasted a week before I realized it was too much. But while I was there, I met this guy named Raffo, and I came to like him like right away, because he was so enthusiastic and was asking questions all the time, like how do I do this, how do I do this, what if I do this, what will happen then, and it was like all over me with questions. And then he has moved up through the ranks via wolves, and now he is in Sparrows. Finally, I have to add, because I've been waiting for the day, because I knew he would move up eventually, and now he did. And now he's going to hit rogue here. And this path is always difficult, because you need to nail this top flare in the correct spot. Like, you need to zoom in for it, and that will cause you to have to rush back down and then maybe miss that smoke like he did now, and the laser fired, and as you can see, there's barely any Zugas left here, maybe 40% or something. That's really unfortunate, but it's still going. And I always say this: if you mess up, continue with the hit. Like, don't try to over smoke, like throwing 10 smokes in sheer panic, reflaring. Like, continue with the hit. Do whatever you can. It's better than trying to panic fix something. Just accept the failure and do what you can. Make it easier for the next hitter. That's all it is about. He's hacking that one machine gun that might have range, and he hacked the sniper that had range. So now this is a complete free snipe from 12 o'clock of this core. And I'm gonna 4x the rest of this hit, because it's just a free snipe. He's pounding this core with whatever Zugas he has left. And as you can see, he's doing quite a bit of damage here. I believe this shield was 20 million at the start, and if this hit was done without the peak, it was possible to take it down, but he didn't. He has about half his troop left, so he gets about half the troop, half the shield, almost half. Uh, so that's a really good job from Raffo, considering he lost half his girls. So the next hit on Rogue is going to be the finish. It will be weird otherwise. Yep, Phytopath. He just tuned in to the stream here. So welcome Phytopath, just in time for your own hit. So all Zugas and Everspark. Just doing a flared landing. That's all right. The shield, the remaining shield was about 11 million, I believe. So you don't need. Otherwise, if it's like 24 million or something like that, and you need every second of the hit to get the shield down, you cannot do a flared landing, because the flare landing alone is 15 to 20 seconds. So you need to do a flagged landing to get your troops up as quick as humanly possible. I can, for teaching purposes, we have a hit in the log where I did the flag landing. I can show you how it looks like, because obviously you have nothing to anchor on. What Phytopath did here, he hacked one cannon over here, because there's one cannon that has a little bit of range on the troops, because they spread downwards on the right side. So he hacked that one cannon. Now it's just pounding the core, the sparky critters. This, as you can see, this Doom cannon is not really in range. It's just hitting the edge critter. That's a very good job from Phytopath. Nice safe walk up there. Got all the girls up. There's really not much to complain about there. So that's Rogue. Now I like. I'm thinking what's harder than the other. I'm going to do a torrent last. Let's do red line. It's red line, but it wasn't the hardest red line. This is Imp with the opening hit. She's the leader of wolves, by the way. Very smart girl, and she knows what she's doing. She's a good hitter. So she messaged me before, like, I'm going to work. I don't know what I can hit, because we had like 2 or 3 bases closed. And I was like, well, you could open red line. She was like, okay, what do I do? So I gave her an idea, like, what I was thinking on this red line, because no rocket launchers up front, and mortars and shock launchers, and of course the laser. So that's super nasty, a laser. So if the laser wasn't there, the idea would have to be like hacking shock launchers and rocket launcher, and then you rifle grens or something like that. But in this case, with this laser here, hacking anything wouldn't accomplish like anything, because the laser will still be up, and you cannot use grens very effectively with the laser. So my idea was to, like, yeah, just get Zukas up there, clear, like old school clearing. She was like, okay, how do I do that? So I guided her through it, and this is what it looks like. So the the important part when you want to clear stuff like in a spot like this, you need to mark stuff, and you need to think about what do I want to clear first, and mark those things. Possibly because this is gonna be 2 shocks to start, and ideally you want to have 2 shocks in first round and then clear some stuff so it's 1 shock for the remainder of the hit, 1 repeated shock. So you gotta clear mark stuff that you want to clear first. But the barrage she needed for the mines here kind of messed the markings up, but you will see that target the rocket launcher, and now they will target the laser, and all of that is because of the marking. Otherwise they would have maybe cleared the boom cannons before they even walked up towards the laser, you know. So mark the defenses you want to clear, that's the secret. So she cleared all the mortars, the boom cannons, the shock launcher, the laser, the rocket launcher, and some boom cannons. Yeah. So she's did a very good job on this hit. Easy to mess it up. She almost got that boom cannon down. So now this red line looks pretty decent. Like next hit can just clear the boom cannons and start on the shields. And that's what happened. Imp, just in time, my friend, dear girl. You were just in time for your own hit. That's perfect timing. So this is John. I believe I had put a note pretty clearly on this base. You see barding out the weak boom cannons. He's dropping riflemen. 1 boat ahead of the grants, and then all the grants, and then he's dropping 1 rifleman behind. He's boarding mines. This boom cannon is still up. Let's see. So he's clearing all of these boom cannons, and that 1 sniper needs to go to. There it is. Now it's flaring over. Okay, the boom cannon is not even in range, so that's all good. And now, whenever you use grens for these shields, and there are 2 grapplers up here, you want to shock grapplers. If you can, you want to have at least a couple shocks, because the grens, the grapplers take off grens 1 by 1, and when the shields have a lot of health, you will be left with like 6 or 7 grens. So by shocking them, you will sort of have a little bit of burst damage at the start, to do as much damage as possible on the shield. Because as he had here, he has 4 times 24 grens with him on this hit, and if there's only 6 left at the end of the hit, that means that the grapplers will take 18 grens. So those 18 grens will do a lot of damage. So you need to shock the grapplers whenever possible. So he got the shield down on the 2nd hit on red line. So now we're left with a rush, and he cleared the mines on the right side of the core here. So the rush is gonna be from 12 o'clock because of these rocket launchers. So by rushing it from 12 o'clock, he will save a shock. Fighter Path is saying the Cavan may have been better than Sparky here, and I may agree. The problem with Cavan on red line is that he the Grens that get grabbed by the grappler, Cavan will run after them and then eventually get grabbed himself and killed. So it's super hard to deal with the Cavan on this hit, but if you're doing a lot of clearing with Grens and you're losing a lot of Grens, then before going for the shields you can drop Cavan and revive some Grens while walking up. But it worked out perfectly well like this. So the next hit is going to be from Arthur Tirona, the Armenian. I'm still not sure if that's Armenia. Ah, shoot. I can never learn which country he's from. Imp, maybe? You remember? Yeah, Imp. Life is good. You're coming home from a long day of work and then Jonte is streaming, so what can be better than that, you know? Maybe you have a beer in the fridge. That would top it off. Just dropping brick, delayed, loving it. And as you can see by walking through the barbed wire, some Sugas lag behind. So what you want to do here, you want to wait a little bit for the straggler Sugas to catch up, and then, but he peeked. So not a really fun spot to be in here. You know, you have like 100 rocket launchers you need to shock, and you know, yeah, I peeked, so, and I think he forgot the medikit here. So I'm going to be honest with Arthur here. This is not the prettiest rush I've seen, but he dropped critters in the rear smoke, and that saved him. Gave him time to get the shocks out, and he killed the core. You saw that? The rocket launcher started fire immediately as the smoke lifted, but he had critters there, so they targeted the critters first, and then he had time to shock. Basans thought he was from Germany. No, he's not. It is either Albania or Armenia. I get those two countries confused, and I can never remember which one it is. And I've been corrected like 100 times, but it doesn't help. So that's red line. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm thinking we're left with Outworks and Torrent. So we're going to do Outworks. The opening hit is superb. The co-leader, the long-time co-leader, has been around since forever in my eyes. Like when I joined the family, I remember him. I was in Angry Boomers, an old task force, and Superb got moved up from wolves or crabs. I think that's what it was. And he became a co-leader eventually in Boomers, and then Boomers shut down, and now he's a co-leader with me in Sparrows. We have played together for over 2 years. That's super fun. He used to be my second in command in Sparrows, but he was slacking too much, so I had to fire him from that job. So the reason you clear those rocket launchers is to free up the cells here. You want these cells to be free for the rush to take, for extra GBE, and in this case it was much necessary. When there are no cells down here, there's no need to clear the rocket launchers. There's only when there are cells here you need to clear the rockets. Now he's flaring up. It's going real safe with the smokes here. But that's okay. I always say that on the leaderboard, you need you need the job done. You know, you don't need a sexy, spectacular hit. You need it to do what is needed. So it doesn't matter how it looks, as long as the job gets done. You know. In this case, the goal is to clear the shields. That's what he needs to do. If he can throw an extra smoke where it isn't needed, that's not a problem, as long as he gets the job done. Yeah, Superb is a slacker, but he is awesome. I love the guy. So Superb did what was needed to be done. He got the shields, and now he's going to he uses all his 8 bolts from a barrage. Now he's dropping every spark. And I need to say this, you cannot normally wait this long to drop a hero after all the troops are dead. But he used the barrage and he kept the hit going, so he can use sparking. Otherwise I would probably have used only 7 bolts on the left part. So he's going to hack this rocket launcher. But unfortunately there was not enough damage around to kill it. But it's doing a lot of damage to the rocket launcher, so it's down to Bart. So it's alright. That rocket launcher alone will save a shock from the rush. So that's the opening hit on Outworks. He cleared the four shields down on the left here, and no, sorry, the rocket launchers and the 4 shields up top, and he hacked this to 1/3 health, cleared some mines. That's a really good opening hit from Superb. He's from the UK, by the way. So that was Superb on Outworks. So now we have Tropas PGPT. This is Gurtori from Spain. He's also in Lions. He moved up from Wolves a while ago, and then pretty quickly he moved up to Lions. So he's doing a really good job in improving himself. And like I said, he's doing what is needed to be done on the hits, and he's doing it consistently. And that is what it's all about. I will tell you this: if you have 2 players and one of them is looking like, yeah, he's not doing anything spectacular, but he's getting the job done and he's doing it consistently. And then you have one player who's like 70% he like messes up something, loses the delay, and 30% is an absolute beast. I'm betting you that any leaderboard team would take the first guy because he is consistent and he is doing what is needed to be done. The consistency, guys, that is how you move up. Of course you need some edge, you know, you need to like, yeah, this hit is my thing, I'm really good at this hit. So you need some of that too, but most of the part you need consistency. So this he flared over because he wants to be out of range of this single shock launcher, so it is only 1 shock repeated here. Now you can safely, by re-shocking this rocket launcher, you can safely get this shield down. That's a really smart hit, smart strategy, flaring over here. There's 1 extra flare, but it saves a lot of shocks. By doing that, he managed to get the shield down just in time. Now he has 2 minutes still on the hit, and he's used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boats of Zugas. And he did that so he has one boat left. And while he has one boat left, the hit will not end. And that's why you can use Spark safely here. So he's going to hack this single rocket launcher because 6 rocket launchers remaining here, and that's one easy shock. So by hacking this rocket launcher, making one shot a lot easier, now it's gonna BART, I think. Oh yeah, the last boat was Grenz. He's gonna farm some GBE down on the right. GBE that the rusher can't take with Zukas. He's BARTing out this rocket launcher. There, it's gone. Thinking maybe if he has another artillery, he's gonna clear some mines. 22s. Always 22s on outworks and maze. All the mines. 22s. Just to make it real nasty. So a max level mine is a mine that has more damage than the Zukas have health, so it will always kill Zukas. A level 21 mine has 269 damage. Zukas has 270 health. So a level 21 mine will leave 1 health on Zukas, in case you didn't know. But the Zukas will survive. So that's it from Gultori, our Spanish friend. Got the top shields, 1 hack, and BARTed out a rocket launcher. So now we're looking at a rush with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, really 7 and 8 shocks. So that's could be possible if you had like a 6-4 account with these tribes, but the health was really high, so I decided to do this with my 3-7 account, 3 GBE and 7 troop damage. But with the tribe I start out with, instead of 132, I start out with 158 GBE. So it's pretty decent. Normally I keep this account as a 4-6 with 4 GBE, and then I have 149. So I have more GBE now still. So you can see 2.26 million. That's pretty beefy, and a 6-4 would probably not get that down. So I'm dropping 4 boats over here to clear the cells. By doing that I get a lot of GBE. With 20 something cells here, I get a little bit over 60 GBE extra. So I have over 200 GBE at this point. Now I can do a decent rush here, and I'm trying to be cheap on smokes. So I want to. I got unlucky. They decided to walk to the right of the boom cannons here, so I lost the delay on the top rockets here. Normally there are rocket launchers down here too, but not this time. But I'm throwing a critter smoke for the right side rocket launchers. So then is instead of 8, it is 6 shocks. I had to adjust the shock order. I lost the delay on the left side rockets. 3 critters, and down pop goes the weasel. I know it's hard to, like, when you're walking and you see you're peeking, you need to think about what do I do to counter it. And I will say that the rocket launcher that you need to do, you you lose the delay on, you need to shock them first, because they will fire immediately after the smoke lifts, like even before flamethrowers, because the flamethrowers, they have a slight delay, a very short delay, but there is a delay because they have to turn and target and then fire. So rocket launchers, they like immediately they fire if you lose the delay on them. So shock them first if you lose the delay. That will save you. So that's outworks down in 3 hits, and now we're down to the last base here on the 7 shields. Can you believe it, guys? And I'm super proud of this team for getting this op down, because we have lost 2 shield ops, like 2 shield bases, like outworks and Fang, whatever, outworks and Mace, and the rest are like solos. We lose the op because everyone is having a bad day. But not this time. Everyone was having a perfect day, I have to say. Like, not one breezy, not one full breezy. So this is Beach Dog. He's been in the family for a long time, and he's been in Sparrows for a long time, and he's a good player. I like him a lot. He's one of those guys who does what's needed to be done. He has some edge. I've seen it. He's done some beast hit. He rushed Maze. Like, he's a solid player. We're starting off by farming some GBE on the right side here. Krusty is repeating himself a lot here. I missed a lot of chat. The chat was going real slow for a while there, so I kind of lost focus. But Imp came online, and then the chat went moving again. Oh. That's awesome. So he's dropping a lot of shocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shocks. And he's getting these shields down. And also, this one rocket launcher, that one has range on the core rush at 8 o'clock. So whenever you're hitting the right shields here, you want to get that one rocket launcher down that I have selected here, like at 6 o'clock of this Doom Cannon, 10 o'clock of the damage amp. That one rocket launcher needs to go. And now there's 1 minute left on the hit. Thank you, Krusty. It was pretty good, but actually easy with 7 troop damage. It was 5 squirts on the core for 2.1 million. It's insane. I love to have that much troop damage, but you have to find the spots to use it. Krusty is flirting with Imp. That's lovely. I love it. Everybody loves Imp. She is awesome. So that's Beach Dog on Torrent. He tried to get the front laser here. He almost got it. Not quite. By getting that laser, you can shock the remaining 3 lasers with the Doom Cannon. So that's a T-shock, as we say. if you hit this laser with the shock, you will get all 4 of these defenses, and this, if you look at it differently, it is actually a 3x3 defenses area, but we call it the T-Shock on torrent, exclusively on torrent, because of the way that all the defenses are set up. So that's a really nice open from Beach. He got 2 of the shield generators, and he almost got a laser too. And now we have this Chinese fella. This is actually Beach Dog again. He is not Chinese, but this is a Chinese account. So obviously the next task on this base is to get the left shields. Lost the delay on this rocket here. So that needs to be kept in mind to shock it earlier than you think. So this spot here is going to be 1, 2, 3 shocks. A little slightly late on that second flare, in my opinion, but he got enough. The health in this base is pretty high, 9 or 7, so that's 2 million on the core, probably like 400,000 on the shields, something like that. And now he has used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boats here. He's dropping 1 boat of Zugas on the right to farm some more GBE, because he's going to drop his hero, and the only hero that makes any sense to use at this point is Everspark. So he messed up, got confused about where Sparky would stop. Oh, I thought about this. He threw some critters, but if you look to figure out when the defenses are in a diagonal fashion, like here, to figure out where Sparky will stop. Normally she stops like 3 defenses distance away from the thing that she's gonna hack. But if you look at it, if you think like from this rocket launcher, the boom cannons and then a laser, the first boom cannon here, you should like think that you shift it over to underneath the rocket launcher, so that's gonna be one defense distance, and the second boom cannon, if you shift that over too, is going to be 1 more defense, and the laser is the third. So in between the laser and the power cell, that is like the spot that Spark is gonna stop. So if you put a ruler or a piece of paper or anything straight on your screen, like in line with this between the laser and the power cell here, you're gonna get the line where Everspark is going to stop. In this case, that's a tip for you all. He was hacking this 1 rocket launcher, but unfortunately it was a little bit late. I'm thinking because of he threw a smoke like off there. He got a little bit confused on when to re-smoke. The idea was to hack the mortar up here too, because that would save a shock from the rush. But unfortunately he didn't get that, and I know that he was very upset about it. But continuing still, like, how do I at least do something more for the next hitter? So clearing some mines, that always help. When in doubt, clear mines, Bart this low health laser, make it easier for the next hit. grabbing whatever GPE he can now. Maybe have, yeah, the laser is down. So it did reduce, like made 2 shocks a lot easier. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a 7 shock rush. So it's pretty nasty. Could do a 6 shock with some pixel shocks, but I never recommend doing that unless it's absolutely necessary. Like, you have to do it or else we'll lose the op. That's the only case you should really do it. So the next hit, this is Krusty, my second in command, the co-leader, also plays in Lions. He's a beast, and he's a fantastic guy. He always helps out, answering questions, and he's a big support to me as a leader. So he's going to try and take this down. And I believe it was 1.9 million. All Zukas and brick, that's the only way you can do that much damage. Double smoking the kill zone here. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see the shocks. This is, oh, it was six shocks. Oh, so because he look. It was a split second longer, and the Zukas would have fired another shot. Look at this. It's like it's dead, but it's still standing. That is the worst. I could leave 1 artillery for the next guy to finish. That it hurts so much, like you want to throw yourself off a cliff or something. But I want to say he looked at the shocks differently. He did it very smartly. He shocked this mortar together with the shock launcher. There was 1 shock, and it used 3 for this, 2 second shock for this 3 rocket launchers, 3 shocks, 4 shocks here, 5 and 6 for. There's really only 4 of these top rocket launchers that are in range. This one, sometimes if the Zuka spread awkwardly, it will be in range. But really 4 rocket launchers, and that's an easy shock. So Krusty did a very good job on that hit. And I believe it was 9,000 health left or something. Left 10k, yeah. There's 2 artilleries to finish, but we told Sticky Fingers here to, no, sorry, not him. Mediator he's moved up from Crabs. He's doing real good. He's from France, I believe. So we told him, like, why would you board it? Just practice to walk or something. Like, get a feel for the hit, you know. So by boarding a core, it's so easy. You learn nothing from it, like, literally nothing. Like, even if it's just using 1 boat here, you can still like get a feel for like how will they walk, like smoke timings, stuff like that. It will help. Like the next time he might rush it in full. So having this experience really helps. And it's more fun than a bar job. That's always an argument. Just gonna do 1 squirt on the core here to finish the stream off. And we were talking about the rogue flag landing before. So I think that's all the bases. Fang, we showed Alamo, we showed Redline, we showed Rogue, we showed Torrent, we showed Outwork, Strategize, and Titanic. So that's all of the hits from this op. But I'm going to show you, we were talking about Rogue, and I believe it is this. Yep, this hit here. Whenever you're going in for a Rogue kill, and it's pretty high health, like over 20 million, depending on your troop damage, I can say this, that maximum that a 6-4 can do is about 21 million, like on a perfect hit. 5-5 is more, like 24, 25 million. And the 4-6 even more, and then this is a 7-3, and you gotta calculate. You gotta look at how much is the shield. So that's the big part. But then after the shield is down, you still have the core to kill too. So you gotta add the core health to the shield to see the total health. So this Rogue here, I remember the shield was 29 something million, and the core was 1.7. Let's see. Yeah, that's no, what? 850, 1.6, 1.7, 1.9. The core was 1.9 at the start of the hit at the base, but you can see it's down a little bit. So it was about around 1.7, and the shield was 29. So the total health here is over 30 million. And I was taking and you can see the timer here, 4 minutes and 24 seconds. I believe I finished with 1 or 2 seconds left. It was really tight. And also I needed to clear a couple things. So I need to get up there as fast as humanly possible. So we were talking earlier that the flare landing is it takes 15 seconds off the hit. It takes 15 seconds for the Zukas to walk to the flare. So that's something to think about. It takes time. So what you do on this hit is you drop all your flags on the top of the beach here. I lost the delay, but it's fine. And then yeah. So what I did is I dropped all my boats at the same spot, and when some Zukas are arriving at the flare, I flare back down in the middle, like straight down from the flags. So the Zukas on the sides will walk in towards the flare, and then I do. In this case, I could have flared straight up, but I know I have lost the delay on the rocket launcher, and I do not want to lose a single Zuka on this hit. So I do a little short flare here to just group them up even further. So that's the flare landing. Let me show you that again. There it is. I drop all the flags, and as the first couple Zukas reach there, I flare back down, and the side Zukas are walking back in, walking in towards the flare, and then I have a really tight group here, making it even tighter. So this is the fastest type of landing you can do in this base. So instead of using 15 seconds, I used like 3 or 4 seconds with that flare back to the beach. Let's see what I did here. Went a little bit safe on the smoking, but I didn't want to risk anything. Now 1 artillery for the boom cannon. I flare over, and then I shock the machine guns. Now I'm hacking. So 2 hacks, and now it's a complete free snipe. And I had all the Sukas left on this hit, and if I didn't, I wouldn't have got it down. That's how tight it was. Like if I lost one single Suka, I wouldn't have got this core down. Because over, you can see 256. I have, like, I got up here in 45 seconds. So I had a little over 3 minutes to just pound on the core. And in 3 minutes, one single Suka is a lot of damage lost. It's like 2 million. Seriously. I calculated it one time, one rogue that I failed, and I had lost 2 girls or something. And I calculated the damage of those 2 girls over that time, and I realized I would have killed it if I kept those alive. So that's what I wanted to show you about flare landing on rogue. I'm gonna jump out of here. I will spoil you. It was a kill with 2 seconds left. There's nothing to see from this point. I think I threw some artilleries when the shield popped. So that's it for today, guys. It's Friday, and I'm super happy that I can stream again, and I'm glad that all of you came to watch today. And thank you all. Have a good evening, a good afternoon, a good morning, whatever it is for you. And now I need to find my button. Cheers. Bye.